say the Mets start getting back into it. We heard about Edwin Diaz throwing a little bit. Could we see him at the end of the year, maybe? Or just depends on where they're at?
I would think it depends on where they're at. They initially said at the time of Edwin Diaz's injury, it's going to take 7 months, which brings you to November. But there were, or 8 months, which brings you to November. But there were cases, Billy Epler said at the time, of it taking 6 months, which is September, which is in play for the end of the regular season, for the playoffs. Where he's at right now, we just don't know. He's throwing in the outfield regularly. He's not walked long since dumped the crutches to help him walk. So it seems like things are going really well. But is it worth bringing him back? You know, I think about it this way. If the Mets were in it the whole year, is it worth bringing back your excellent closer after that injury to put him in that sort of situation? I think it's a little bit of a toss-up. Is it worth bringing him back if you're on the very fringes, or you have sort of have a shot at the playoffs in the second half of September? That might be a tough sell. But it depends on how his rehab goes between now and then.
So we don't know where Edwin Diaz is going to be. Is Max Scherzer going to be on the roster on August 2nd?
I really think he is. Steve Cohen has this thing about paying down salaries to get other teams to take players and get better prospects in return. And if he took that to the extreme in the case of Scherzer or Verlander and their record $43.3 million salaries, that would be pretty fascinating to pay that much money for a player to play for another team. That said, between Scherzer's middling performance and his salary next year, I think, the Mets are going to keep him. And a big part of that is because the Mets want to be good in 2024, no matter what happens this year. And if you trade Scherzer, then all of a sudden you leave yourself with another gigantic hole that you're unable to fill internally, that you then have to go spend another ton of money to fill over the offseason.